They have literally taken the mayor of New York City, who was facing and is facing serious charges of bribery, which were going to be expanded, and they have turned him into their own political pawn.
This is an outrageous violation of the rules of prosecutors.
It is an outright extortion.
Democrats alleging that criminal charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams were dropped in exchange for his cooperation on immigration, even after Adams denied those claims on this show.
Think about my attorney, Alex Spiro. Imagine him going inside saying that the only way Mayor Adams is going to assist in immigration, which I was calling for since 2022, right, is if you drop the charges. That's quid pro quo. That's a crime. It took her 3 weeks to report in front of her a criminal action. Right. Come on, this is silly.
I think that's ridiculous. Me and Mayor Adams met a couple months ago. I think it was probably 8-9 weeks ago we met, and we had the same discussion. And we talked about getting a presence in Rikers Island.
Well, joining us now to discuss is counselor to the president, Alina Habba. Alina, it's a pleasure to speak with you. And, you know, looking at this with Eric Adams, I just had to laugh when I hear Amy Klobuchar call him a political pawn. Are you a political pawn for complying with federal immigration law?
The only political pawns that exist in the state of New York are the DAs and AGs that are literally interfering in what the president has ordered. And let's not forget something, Kaylee, you bring up a great point. This man was prosecuted because he was anti-sanctuary city policies. He wanted New York to be safe. He said, I'm going to protect the people of New York. That is the job I was given. And then all of a sudden, wow, he's prosecuted under charges and gone after. I can't imagine anybody else that's happened to. That's the crime. That is the crime. So now he comes in and he says, I'm going to cooperate and do exactly what I've been saying I wanted to do for months before they prosecuted me and persecuted me. And I'm going to help clean up the city of New York, which is a disaster, as we know.
Alina, I think that's a fantastic point that you make. You know, the Biden DOJ, they had a history of going after political enemies, from pro-life protesters who I spoke with and interviewed to, as you very well know, because you represented him, your client, Donald J. Trump, who's now the president of the United States. Then you get to Eric Adams. And Tom Homan made an important point. He said, we met in December and we talked about opening this place on Rikers. But yet there's this bombshell meeting. They say this all took place last week. They met in December and spoke about this.
It's absolutely true. And, you know, Amy in particular, I was listening to her at the FBI confirmation hearing for Kash Patel. She's got some real anger issues. I don't know where that's coming from, because all we're trying to do, and all President Trump is ordering, is safety protection, border security, fentanyl crisis to go down, economy to go up. That's what we're working on here, getting American people jobs. So to get angry about that is just comical to me. To say that Eric Adams, how dare he cooperate with President Trump, is comical to me. Perhaps he should be singing songs outside protesting instead of working for the American people, like some of the other Democrat partners over there. But he's not. He's going to work, and he's pulling the America First agenda and working on getting New York to a better place. And I commend him. But to then say, well, there's collusion, there's this, that, the only collusion that happened was when they were prosecuting him and Donald Trump, and we know that all too well.
Alina, I want to bring in Dana Bash with one of the worst questions I think I've heard asked. Let's listen to this.
If he doesn't do the things that you want him to do, would you be okay with DOJ reopening investigation into him? Should they do that?
That's out of my lane. I'm a border czar. I care about the border. So let DOJ do what they do. I care about removing public safety threats from the country.
I mean, Alina, I thought Trump appointed Tom Homan to fix the border. Did I miss something? Is he now at DOJ?
Yeah, I think she must have thought Tom was Pam, which I wouldn't put above Dana. Look, at the end of the day, Kaylee, what her question is absurd for another reason. If he doesn't do what you want him to do, will you prosecute him? Let's say it was Pam Bondi. Let's say that's the question she asks me. That question in itself tells you the way they think. If you do not do what we want you to do, we will come after you. No, that's what you did to Mayor Adams. You did that. He didn't want to do what the Biden administration wanted, and they came after him. It's the way they think. It was actually a very telling question in itself, never mind to the wrong person.
Counselor to the President, Alina Habba, thank you.
Thanks, Kayleigh.